Good morning, everybody. My name is Hannah and this is my channel. Please excuse my sweaty face because it is so hot outside, which is actually the reason. Let's start here. This video was attempted to be made yesterday, which is why this video is a little late. Here's the deal. I have been saving egg cartons for a long time. I live in a household of 4 at the moment, and as you can tell, we are not vegan. We're vegetarians. We eat a lot of eggs because eggs are good protein. I'm no way, please vegans don't come at me. I love animals, free range, yep. I don't want to upset the vegan community, but I have been saving a lot of egg cartons for the past couple months. So I have more than enough. But what I'm doing today is making paper. And much like many, if not all, of the things that are on my channel, all of the videos, all of the topics, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have not done this before. Okay, that's a little bit of a lie. I did this yesterday because this video was attempted to be filmed yesterday, but it was too hot. My name is Hannah and welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm melting. I'm having a heck of a time. I'm trying so hard to get you guys a video this week and I cannot pull myself together. So I gave up on filming and just decided to troubleshoot. So I'm a little better prepared than I was yesterday at least. Yeah, other than yesterday, no experience paper making. Let's get down to business. Okay, so according to the internet articles I have been reading, the first thing that you need to have for this is a thing called a Mold Deckle. So it's basically this, and there's another thing over off in the distance that I'm not gonna grab. It's basically a frame with a screen on it. I'm gonna remake this because I didn't like this one. I used scrap wood and it's really thick. I think this would be better if I had thinner wood. So I bought these things. They're half the size. I'm gonna make one. What you can do is, I saw that some people bought picture frames, ready-made picture frames. Google it. I'm sure you can find ones. I just didn't happen to have picture frames, so I'm gonna just make mine. I'm going to chop them down, to about the size of a piece of paper, and then I'm going to staple gun them together because I'm too lazy to wait for wood glue to dry and too lazy to deal with screwing them together. And then some old screen that my mom had from a project around the house. I have cut my pieces of wood down to the size of a paper, so now I just have to go ahead and staple gun them together. Okay, there's one side, and now I'm going to do these other ones. I have made the 2 frames. Now on one of them, I'm going to cut out some of this outline of this thing. I'll cut it down to size better a little bit. I'm going to staple gun it all the way around so that it stays on here. That's nice. So once you put them together, it'll look like this. The point of this one is so that it gives your paper its shape. So you'll dunk it in the water, it'll come up inside of this square, and then you'll take this square off and it will have a nice paper shape this way. The next part of this process is that you are going to take whatever recycled paper materials that you're going to be using. You could use newspaper, you could use recycled junk mail, use egg cartons like I am. What you're going to do is you're just going to tear them up into tiny little pieces like this, okay? Rip them apart, throw them in this little bucket, or in some sort of bucket. And then you're going to fill that bucket with water, and you're going to let them soak. The site that I read it on said overnight or for a couple hours. I think yesterday I let them sit for an hour. It seemed to work just as fine. If you're doing this and you want to be prepared, you could do it overnight. I think it would just probably make the material more able to together like shoo-bop-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-doom-ba-doom. Yes, do what I'm doing. I personally did this yesterday and I used 3 egg cartons, and you can save your scraps. So I strained my whole thing and I came back with this amount of stuff to make into paper. So I strained it and I just put it in this little cloth to let it dry out. But I can just rethrow that into some water and use it again. I'm basically just showing you with this so that I can give you the demonstration of blending it. I'm gonna go do some stuff, let them sit, and then I'm gonna blend them up. My scraps have been soaking for a couple hours now, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this blender up with water to about there. For this portion of the project, you are going to want a bin. This is where I'm going to dump all of this puree that I'm about to make. And now I'm going to grab some of my paper, throw 2 handfuls of it in there, puree it. I have something like this, a big ol' egg carton smoothie, and I'm just gonna dump it in here. By the way, this is a junk blender. Don't reuse. This is from like a thrift store. I'm gonna keep doing this until all my paper scraps are blended up. I'm gonna just use my old ball of scraps that I dried out yesterday, and I'm gonna just puree it again with some water. So, done with the blender, and now I've got this bucket of sludge here. We're starting this with like the barest minimal stuff, right? So this is just the paper and water. I'm trying to think how best to do this because I heard that it is good to put a little bit of cornstarch in it, and I think I probably should have been doing that when I was blending it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of cornstarch in here and just like mix it up. I'm going to just dump some in there and see how it works out. But apparently cornstarch makes the paper like more rigid. Alright, I have no idea how much of this I'm supposed to put in, so I'm just going to sprinkle it around here. There's probably somebody watching this going, that's way too much. I don't know, but we're going to just shove it in there. Okay. Now I'm going to add more water, and then I'm going to mix it up. I think that's good. As you can see, none of this is precise, so I'm just playing it by ear. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Now comes the fun part. Before I do this, I'm going to go get a flat surface. Okay, so I found my nice flat surface here, and then I have rags, and now I'm gonna do this. Here we go. Okay, so screen on the bottom, top thing on the top. I don't know what they're called really. Dunk it under like this, and go like that, and then you're gonna lift it up and let the water drain out. This is what happens if you move it around too much. So I'm gonna redo this because this is not the shape that I want. This curved edge right here. Oh, I think my mixture has too much egg carton because this is really, really thick. I'm gonna add more water and see if we can get this to thin out. So now I have this kind of almost drained. A lot of the water's out. It's just dripping now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to take this top piece off. Like that. As you can see, it's got that nice outline. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this onto this thing right here. Let's see if I can do it this time. But basically, you flip it over onto here. Ooh, it came off this time. That's fun. Okay, so you kind of like flip it over and then peel it back up. I gotta take my other cloth, place it over on top of this, and we're gonna squeeze the water out. So yesterday I was using just a sponge to press down on it. So I'm gonna try that again. So yesterday what I was doing is I just took this sponge and I would just press, and then I'd squeeze the water out of the sponge, and then I would press, and then squeeze the water out of the sponge, and then press again, and just keep squeezing the water out of the sponge, because that's essentially what we're trying to do, is just get all of the water out of this. It's pretty soaking wet, so I'm going to wring this out, and then I'll place it back on top. Roller this on here. I think it'll help squeegee the water into the rag that I'm using. Okay, that's working a little bit. Cute. That looks like a piece of paper. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go set this in the sun over there and let it dry. I can just pick it up with this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep playing around with it. Throw some like ripped up leaves in here. Maybe they'll show up in the paper. I think that could be cute. We'll see. And then I might add a little bit more like flower petals or something. I think you're supposed to dry this stuff before you do this, but we're playing. We're just having fun. So it was really hot and I decided to take a break and go for a swim. So I did that and waited for the sun to get behind the trees. And now it's shady again, so I just finished up kind of the last bit of paper that I wanted to make. I really didn't make that much. I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I made like 10 pieces of paper. This was obviously just a trial run. It was really hot today. And so I'm going to just collect the rest of this egg carton water. Basically just kind of roll it into another little ball like I had before and save it for the next paper making experience. Half of my paper has dried and half of it is freshly made, so I will show you what both of those look like in a second. First off, I'm going to just start collecting this stuff, and I'll show you how you can save it, how I saved it this past time. So I'm basically just taking my strainer die, and then I'm just pulling it like this into the center, draining the water, and then once a lot of the water is drained, I'm just going to grab it into a ball. There it is in my hands, and I'm just going to squish out more water, and I'm just going to keep doing that with the rest of everything that's in here so that I can just let it dry out and be a ball of egg carton. Well, here we are, boys and girls. Paper. I'm surprised because yesterday's paper did not turn out this well, which I'm attributing to the starch in here, I think. As you can see, it has dried much lighter than it looks like it's going to, so I was worried that the egg carton was going to turn like, it was going to be like this dark gray color, and it actually dried this really nice light color. Okay, here we go. So here's the first two. Sorry, this one got a little wet spot on it just now. But here's the first two with nothing. And then we got this one, which was my first attempt at having stuff in the paper. I did not have enough. Yeah, it's kind of cute. It's like definitely you can write on it. Like there's more space to put stuff on. But yeah, I definitely didn't have very much in the vat of the goop as I could have. And then we've got these two. This one's still drying a little bit, so I'm gonna be careful with it. So I'll show you this one. This was the first one where I threw in the flower petals. I doubt that it will stay this color. I bet it's going to turn kind of brown. I might be pleasantly surprised and wrong. I'm gearing up for this to turn more brown than these purples are right now. This one obviously was the first one, so there is a lot going on here. It was the first one where I had like a bunch of flowers thrown on the top. As I got like more and more toward the end of making these, I definitely ended up with less and less flower petals in it. Even just the second one, you can see, kind of ended up with less petals in it. I think I kind of got a little bit more deliberate about like evening it out. The other cool thing that I noticed doing this was that it gets these imprints on the back. I figure this side can be the decorative side and this side can be the writing side. Yeah. And then I've got this little ball of leftover junk. It still has the flower petals and stuff in it, so I guess I don't know how those will hold up. Yeah. So that's it, guys. It's very exciting. I'm very excited about this. I want to play around more. I know that there are ways to like dye your paper naturally if you save like your compost scraps, so that would be really fun. One little trick that I will say I did that I don't think I showed on camera, sometimes when you would flip the screen to like let it release from the screen, it wouldn't release, so I'd either have to start over, like just take it and like dip the cloth back in the vat and it mostly came off, or I would like flick the edge of the screen like all the way down, so like across the edge that I wanted to release. Sometimes that worked. It wasn't the best. It was like, this paper is not going to be great. And other times I just had to completely scrap it. So if that is happening to you, don't be deterred. It also happened to me. I think it's just part of the process and why it's so rewarding to get those perfect ones. I think that's all I have to say about this. I hope you guys do it. As always, if you do this, please send me photos on my Instagram. This goes with like every single project on my YouTube channel. You're like, I need to show somebody. I totally get that feeling, and you can always send it to my Instagram. Sometimes answering all of those messages is a little difficult, but just know that I do see them, and I love seeing the things you guys come up with. So with that, we conclude today's video, and I can talk about the giveaway. Having a Dora moment. What's the giveaway? That's right. This paper I made today. This paper, all of this paper, well, not all of it. I probably will keep one of them. Whoever wins this week's giveaway will receive a little bundle parcel of paper that I have made today, all for themselves. You can do what you will with it. You can use it to write friends letters. You can write your journals on them. You can hang them up on the wall. You can frame them. You can rip them up into tiny little shreds and feed them to your dog. You can use them as confetti. It's up to you because they'll be yours. If you would like to enter this giveaway, there are 3 things you need to do. Am I doing letters and numbers this time, Hannah? Let's go numbers. Okay. 1, follow me on Instagram. 2, like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And then 3, I want you to comment in the comment section. I'm making paper. It's so cringy, I know, but here we are. You're watching my channel, right? And then along with that comment, your Instagram handle so that I can contact you if you win. The winner will be announced next week on Wednesday. I'll put the date down here at the bottom so that you know what day that is, at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Unfortunately, I can only offer free shipping to people who live inside of the U.S. If you live outside of the U.S., though, you are still able to enter if you would like to pay for your own shipping. So if you want to win these, but you are willing to pay your own shipping, feel free to enter. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a really good time making it, and I'm really glad that I got to share it with you. And I'm gonna let you guys go. I love you all. Stay safe. Happy days.